Yeah, so I was having these issues with not sleeping.
Yeah.
But now I wake up at sunrise and I'm like, okay, so what now? Where are we going? And I'm ready.
Amazing.
So it feels good. Um,
Awesome.
some of the kind of the need for chocolate and coffee, I don't I wouldn't say I don't need them, because every time I see them anywhere, I'm like, oh, that would be nice. And then I'm like, actually, would it really? Because it actually doesn't make me feel good. Um, and some of the other things, like I'm in my eating, I would eat, and then when I felt like I was full, or not full, when I felt like I'd had enough, I would stop. And now it's almost I'm eating a lot less, so I don't have big like set meals. I don't have a breakfast and I don't have a lunch. It's almost like throughout the day I'm eating a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, I feel I'm good. And then not very long afterwards, I'm like, oh, I need to eat something. And I'm eating a little bit, and so it's almost like that part has changed. Um, and I feel healthier. So I know the goal wasn't to lose weight, but I feel like I have somewhat, but not in like the mass amounts, like losing mass amounts of weight, but more being able to see some kind of definition, and it feels good.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I'm so thrilled. And that's 11 days.
Yeah. Today I did wake up and I was actually yesterday I woke up and I was very, very tired. But not the like I haven't slept tired. It's like almost like this drained, tired feeling. And I was like, what is going on? Um, but there's so many other factors that could influence that. And then I was also like, I'm only halfway. And on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I did the fast so that I do my bloods. And from then it was almost like that's when I started feeling like something doesn't feel 100% on my energy level. I think it was just that shook it up a bit.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But it is also at this time, about halfway through, where, being careful about getting hypoglycemic is like super important, because, you're running out of glycogen stores now. So it's not like you have an emergency, store of just free glucose in your blood anymore. So, so just be, I think, don't not take that into account, because hypoglycemia is going to make you feel grotty, and try and stay ahead of that curve. So, if you're starting to feel a little bit down, a little bit low on energy, then that our natural instinct is to go to sugar, okay, because that's our traditional sort of response. But try and stay away from that, and if you can, use something that's got fat in it, like avocado or something like that, because it will give you the energy boost. It'll just be a little bit slower. So catching that curve is important to get ahead of it. If you're trying to catch it, it's pretty tough. So if you wake up a little bit flat, then just have your emergency snacks, close by. Eat a little bit more regularly throughout that day, because it will catch you, and it can make you feel really, really miserable.
Nuts and dates always work well as well.
And dates are an ancient food, so they don't trigger our immune system like the more modern fruits and so on. So that always works really well, and it doesn't give you that ridiculously triggered insulin response.
There's actually when I think about it now, eating anything that has any kind of natural sugar in it, it's very, very sweet, like almost sickly sweet. So the day I went to Impala Fruit and Veg, and they've got like this wonderful range of nuts and fruits, and that almond milk.
Okay.
And I'd got like a bowl of dates, so they still have their pips in, and I ate, I think, 2 of those, and I was just like, no, wait, this is way too much sugar for me. It's so extreme. And even a banana is like,
oh wow,
extreme. So I'm also sugar taste. It's almost like if I remember what it would taste like, I don't want it.
Okay. Amazing.
Which I think is good. But then this what you're talking about now, Steve. So having this energy issue, and I think I'd read in one of the resources that having almost like this natural sugar with or fructose with the actual, well, not fructose, with natural fructose, with the protein, so that it really helps with the absorption and doesn't give you the spike, and it's a bit sour.
Absolutely.
That looking at maybe shakes or something like that to kind of keep myself a bit higher with the protein powder in it, and
yeah. I mean, you've obviously got to be careful of protein powders because you've got to look at all the added dairy and stuff that they inevitably put in them. So, I mean, Jenny can give you some ideas in terms of the protein powders that we use. Pea protein, and it's something that is just that. If you're buying commercial protein powders,
they've often got fillers and all kinds of other junk.
Yeah.
So I would try and stay away from protein powders at the moment. I mean, I can probably, if you do need, I can find some.
Let me check what ours is, because it is a vegan one, and it's not the like the muscle building one. It's got like spirulina in, and it's more of the.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
that'll be great.
Cool. Yeah. No, absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see the ingredients.
It's like taste, that change in taste buds. It just shocked me so much.
It really does.
It does.
Your taste buds really do change. How are you finding the almond milk, Shona? The butternut almond milk?
So I've also realized that if I'm not drinking tea and coffee, I don't actually have that much almond milk.
Yeah.
So it's also like,
true.
And that it's mainly for cooking. So if there's maybe sauces that we want to make, we would use the almond milk as the base.
Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't tasted it. I can't say that I've actually tasted what it tastes like. Oh, and I know it's actually. Yeah. But I don't know what it tastes like. I have turmeric in my oats, so I rarely actually taste whatever's happening in the and then
it overpowers everything.
Yeah.
But just remember, taste buds change, and I didn't realize how much they do, but they really do. I mean, I just recall, when we were still moving to vegan, I used to enjoy bangers and mash because I'm English, and it's a very English thing. And I just remember one day Jenny made bangers and mash, and I said, "These are off. They are genuinely off." And I could taste the metallic taste of meat, and I'm just like, "You've destroyed one of my absolute go-to comfort meals, and you've destroyed it." I'm like, I'm done. And I almost had like a little bit of depression about having lost. But you know what? At the end of the day, my taste buds change, and you've also got to. Sometimes you just got to give yourself time, and your taste buds will change, and they change completely. And suddenly, as you say, sugar just tastes wrong, and you'll know that it just changes. Expect that too.
So what's in there, Shona?
I was going to ask, do you want me to send it to you, or can I?
Yeah, I mean, you can read. It's probably a good idea if you send a pic. I don't know. Is there any way of doing that on the? I'm so useless with this stuff.
Yeah. I'll be back. Let me see how I can.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So Martha, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So have you had a chance to look through the videos and the elimination diet stuff and so on yet?
I only opened it today, everything, and I will look at it over the weekend
Okay.
and start. Maybe tomorrow I will find a little bit of time in the afternoon and have a look at that. But I'm very eager to start on the elimination diet. I've been eager for a while.
Yes.
I've integrated some grains, and I think your gut also changes, not only your taste buds,
Your
because it
gut
feels
does.
as if I cannot tolerate grains anymore at all. I'm really bad. And even lentils and things like that.
Okay.
I'm so used to just having a protein, which is meat or fish or whatever, and vegetables, and live off that,
Mm. Mm.
and all the bad stuff that goes with that. But yeah, I want to change.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, grains can be a problem for some people. Okay. So let's get you started slowly on, so let me know. It's probably a good idea for Martha to sit down with you first, I think, Hesty.
Yes, absolutely. So if you do have some time tomorrow afternoon, Martha, let me know, because then I can just make sure, take you through the website resources and then the coaching platform, which is separate at this point. It will quite soon be one platform, but we have two places where at the moment. So I'll just take you through those if you've got 20 minutes or so, half an hour tomorrow.
Okay. Yes, I would definitely have time in the afternoon tomorrow.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
So we'll do that, and then you'll be able to access in all of the week steps, because each week has a theme and it has steps and it has all of the resources. So I'll take you through that tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, awesome. I mean, you've got the basic information. So if you find that you do react within the first couple of days of starting the elimination diet, then you must just be in touch, okay? Because then we may have to modify it further. So if you are finding that you're reacting to grains or legumes or that kind of stuff, then we'll need to change it up some more, okay? And that does happen sometimes for some people. And you've obviously got a gluten issue already, and the thyroid issues as well. So it could be that we might need to pull out stuff. Okay, so let's.
I thought that it was only gluten and bread, but I'm not eating that. But I introduced quinoa and lentils, beans, all sorts of things. And now all of a sudden I feel like I'm eating bread the whole day, and I'm not. So maybe I just need to get used to it again. I'm not sure.
All grains have a certain protein. Okay, so gluten has gliadin, and that's the biggest issue. But all grains have a degree of a very similar kind of molecule and protein. So that's why for some people grains just don't work. So we may need to pull all grains out for a while, okay, and just see how you do, and reintroduce slowly. So just because your immune system, you've already got an autoimmune disease, which means your immune system is very upregulated already. So we've got to calm that down and settle it, and then we can slowly start to introduce things into it again. But I think, yeah, I mean, you haven't. Are you still having dairy, Martha? You are, hey.
No, the only dairy that I've stopped dairy and eggs to a large extent already. So
Okay.
I'm not on the elimination diet. I haven't started on that.
No.
But I do have I sometimes I would have full fat or double fat yogurt.
Okay.
Not a lot, especially in winter, but I would have that. I actually had that today as a snack.
Okay. All right. So I mean, dairy and gluten are the two biggest kind of inflammatory foods and allergenic foods. So
I can easily cut that out. Yes, I also use almond milk for cooking and sauces. I don't drink milk in tea or coffee.
Okay.
Um,
We chatted last week with Shona also about the milk, So what brand milk are you using?
I'm buying the Willie's one without the unsweetened almond milk.
Okay, so you've just got to check. I mean, so Shona switched to the butternut brand. I know Pick and Pay stocks it, and I think Dis-Chem have started to stock it now. But it's a very clean brand. So I don't know the Woolies one, but I know some of them do include canola oil and fillers. So the butternut is the cleanest that I've seen offhand. So just check before you get going on the elimination diet. Like you want to steer clear of all your seed oils because they're highly inflammatory as well.
I don't do those. Well, not intentionally.
No, I know, but that's exactly they kind of slip in.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that with the milk and stuff as well. Because
but I can easily do without milk. I don't really need it, so I can easily do without it.
No, that's perfect. All right. Then we just need to, I don't know. I think Shona, it's on WhatsApp here. I'm just going to have a look at this this protein powder.
Steve, what's a jam file? I can't hear you.
Steve, we can't hear you.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. It's just a note board. It's really just a place that I'll take some notes. I'm going to go check on the Woolies brand. I'll go and have a look what's in there and so on. So it's really just a note board that I'll be able to share, at the end of every call. It'll be part of the recording anyway.
Shona, this protein powder looks fine, and it's all organic as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I like it. I don't have any issues with that at all.
And they say 1 to 2 heap scoops, but if you put 2 heap scoops in and they're saying that's for a smoothie, if you use that in a smoothie, it actually makes it taste like a bit like sand. It's like super grainy and it's not so nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's also like you can't really overdose on it because you're not nice.
No, that looks great. So adding that into smoothies, I'm very happy. I think that'll give you a good boost.
You see them?
Yes, I can see. Yeah. That's I've seen that at Dis-Chem. So that looks very cool. Awesome.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When I was still doing keto full time, I used to include MCT oil from time to time. And I recently bought MCT powder as a drink. So you just mix it with hot water, mix it up, and you just drink it like I don't know what, a filler or something. So what I do is I started to do intermittent fasting from 4:00 in the afternoons until 8 in the mornings.
Yeah.
And also to help with the bloating from the grains, just to get settled again. It feels as I just shouldn't eat. But then I drink that at 5 or 6 when I would normally have had dinner. I would have that. And I'm not sure whether how that's going to affect everything. It's watery, but it's not clear, so it may contain milk. I just need to check. But I'm not sure. It's called pure MCT oil, and it's in a tin, bought it at the health shop.
Can you send that to me as well, and I'll look into that, Martha.
Okay, I'll send you a pic of the ingredients, the back and what it looks like.
Yeah, that's perfect. Have you got any comments on that, Steve?
I think the intermittent fasting, I think, will be too much. So when you start on the elimination diet, we'll bring intermittent fasting in around about, I think, week 11, week 12. It's definitely something that has good evidence behind it. And there are, sort of two ways to do it: 16-8 and 5-2. They're different methodologies, but I think it will be too much, and I think it might. And in itself, it's a stressor. So it upregulates your immune system on its own, because your body will treat it as a threat. So I think what Jenny's trying to do with you is to remove those stresses and to downregulate, your immune response. So I think just be a little bit cautious of that in the first 23 days at least.
Okay. Yay!
Oh, shame.
Now, Jenny can go 5 days. I mean, I don't know how any human.
No, I haven't gone 5 days. I haven't done that.
No, I'm not. No, not at all. I'm just thinking. No, I've just, and it's actually not that difficult to do. It's very easy, because you just have a big lunch. But that's when I have all these grains, and
Okay, so we're going to have to look at that with you, I think. All right, so I'll give that some thought as well over the next couple of days before you get started.
I have a question there on Magda, your MCT powder. So I used to drink quite a bit of the oil when I was training a lot, and I've never seen the powder. Where did you get that from?
I bought it at Wellness Warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting.
I'll quickly go and fetch it, and let me just have a look at what's inside. Let me get it quickly.
No problem.
I'll switch on my camera next week.
I wonder if adding that MCT oil to the smoothies would also help with the drop of energy, because it's like it. I mean, it's amazing, but I don't know how good it is really if you're taking MCT oil.
Let me look into it a bit more. I'm not 100% sure neither. So I'll come back to you. I'll look into that maybe later today.
I know with energy, Jenny, that I didn't have to then eat like a whole massive meal. I could have that, and it would really.
Yeah, the oils would do that.
Yeah.
And I used to, I was very keen on coconut oil and that kind of stuff for quite a while. I'm not sure anymore. So that's why I just, I know MCT oil was very, it was quite a good thing. I'm not sure anymore. So, and I don't know if I would want to add a whole lot extra. So that's why, let me just double check that. Yeah.
Decided I wasn't feeling great because it was overcast today, and I was waiting for the sun to wake me up, and it just looked like it was grey up until. Hello.
Yeah, no, it was quite miserable and windy as well. It's like, sure, it was quite a lousy day. Okay, so Martha's just sent me on WhatsApp quickly as well.
Yeah, there are a few additional ingredients other than powdered MCT.
Yeah, okay, so I'd probably steer clear of that. It's got various different additions. Sodium caseinate. I mean, that sounds like a dairy type thing.
Yeah, isn't that
say
the dairy protein?
Yeah, I don't know what sodium caseinate is, but casein is the dairy protein.
It's definitely a dairy protein, yeah. So that will be a synthetic, dairy protein.
And then the stearic acid and it's probably not ideal.
No.
But I will put it out there and just come back to you still. Sorry. It's interesting.
That's my midnight snack.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's fine. It is something that's processed in any case. So.
Yeah, that is the thing. So you really want to stay away from processed food. So tinned food, your your sauces, your all of those kind of things you want to steer clear of. And I mean, I think you know by now as well, but I mean, even your stocks, all of those things, like watch for the gluten in it and all of that
Yes.
stuff. So, yeah. So yeah, so I think avoid that certainly for the elimination diet, but I will inquire further on the MCT oil anyway, because I think that's a good question. Okay, any other questions? Nothing.
Elimination diet specifically, hey? So
no, anything.
Okay.
I mean, any questions anyone has, and then I'm going to move on to like a bit of a physical exam, just looking at some stuff. Shona sent me some photos today, and I've got another client that I'm working with as well. So yeah, so we're just going to. I think that'll be interesting, and we'll just discuss that a little bit. But if there are any other questions,
I don't have any others.
all right, perfect. Okay, so now I need to just share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Okay, let me just find right here. No, not that one. Hold on. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Have I lost everyone?
Yes. No.
Okay, you can see us. Okay, cool.
I can see it,
Okay, so I'm going to start. Okay, so these are Shona's pictures that she sent me today. All right, and what we're doing here is putting a whole puzzle together. So this, with the tests that we're doing, the blood work, and all the other tests that we are doing, it kind of all puts the picture together, and everything gives us further information. But if you have a look here, Shona, if you can see around the edges of your tongue, there's a little bit of scalloping there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I was just looking. I was like, "Is there waves in my tongue?"
Okay, that's scalloping. It's what we call scalloping. Okay, so there can be a couple of different reasons for that. Sometimes if you've got a tongue that's a little bit too big for the mouth, it can cause that because it's pressing on the teeth all the time. It can be an indication of a hyperactive thyroid. Okay. And I mean, on the blood work, your thyroid seems fine. Your TSH, like I said, is a little bit on the low side. So we'll look further into that, but that can be an indicator there as well. But it can also be an indicator of an autoimmune condition, okay, which, I mean, we haven't picked up with you at this point in time, but that's one of the things. And then also it can indicate food allergies or hypersensitivities. And that's most likely what we're looking at with you, I would think, at this point. So once we start to reintroduce the foods with you, we'll probably start to pick up what you are reacting to. But yeah, so it'll be a good idea just to keep an eye on your tongue over the coming weeks and months and see if that scalloping improves. Okay, so it's quite nice to have these photos because now we've kind of got a before picture, and then later we can have a look at it again and see what's happening. So yeah, so that's the scalloping. Then, I mean, there's a little bit of a white coating on it, and that can also be an indication of dysbiosis in your gut, so an imbalance in all the bacteria. And Yeah, so that'll obviously upregulate inflammation in your gut and in your body and so on. So that's what we're picking up there. And then in the middle here, you've got a bit of a fissure. Okay, so that looks like to me a midline fissure. You do get different types, but that I would say there is, again, it's probably an upregulated IgG or immunoglobulin G or your immunoglobulin E reaction. So your IgG is your immune. It's your food sensitivities. Okay, whereas your IgG is your food allergies. So that's it's two different parts of your immune system. So the IgG, the IgE, the allergy side is where you end up with your anaphylaxis and that kind of stuff. Okay. But yeah, so it's probably, again, just an upregulated immune system, and that'll tie in with the dysbiosis and so on as well. Okay. Your lips look fine. Tell me, do you get dry lips, cracking lips, cracks in the corners of your mouth at all?
No.
No. Okay, that's cool. That can be an indication of various different deficiencies. Again, often your B vitamins, zinc, various, but yours look fine, and your gums all look fine as well. Your nails also seem fine to me. I don't pick up. I mean, they don't look like they crack or break easily. They don't look dry and brittle. Am I right?
I'm mute. So what happens with them is if I'm using them a lot, they actually split.
Do they?
Not like cuts, like long ways, but more like the actual between the top and the underneath layer, they split open.
Oh, really?
But that also hasn't actually happened recently, or in. I'm trying to think when it actually happened. So, and I used to do a lot of climbing. So
yeah.
Putting chalk on my fingers all the time, and
oh yes, of course.
that could be part of that. And I know that one of the, I don't know who said it to me, that when they stopped climbing, they stopped using chalk. They actually started using a lotion, and it stopped splitting their nails like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I mean, that could certainly dry them out or whatever as well. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you get those little white spots in the nails.
Yeah.
So the spots can often be a zinc deficiency. If you're getting stripes, like white stripes in the nails, that can be selenium. So those can indicate different things. If you've got dry, brittle nails, that can be a thyroid issue, or it can be malnutrition, again, that you're not absorbing the nutrients that you're taking and eating. But I mean, yeah, I don't see major issues with your nails. So happy there as well.
Jenny, I have a question on them. So there's I don't know if depending on which way you're looking at it, but there's lines running from like my cuticle to the tips of my nails.
Yes, ridges.
Yeah, they're on all of them.
Do you know what I have actually wondered about? That hasn't come up specifically, but that is a question I will look into as well. Okay. So that hasn't come out in any of the work that I've done so far. I don't think it's significant, in all honesty, but I will look into that as well. Would you be able to make a note of that for me, Steve? Okay, all right. Anyway. Okay, but I'll look into that, Shona, and yeah, if there is anything further, I'll come back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else that was concerning you here with your skin? I mean, everything looks fine to me. Was there anything else specific you wanted me to look at?
No, they were. And I also wasn't sure what parts of my head.
Yes.
So I was like,
No, it was really your nails and the mouth, the skin, tongue, gums, all of that kind of tissue. And then skin, like if you're getting rashes or acne or
yeah.
like things like that kind of stuff that's concerning you. So any like changes in your skin that shouldn't specifically be there.
So there is something that was part of like and I did it in the first medical questionnaire and the second one. There's like that. I cannot remember the name of it, but like your skin getting weirdly dry and kind of flaking, and I have that. And I haven't sent a photo of that. I wasn't sure. And
Okay. All right. Well, send a photo of that through to me, when you have a chance. I mean, not now, but yeah, like take a photo of that as well. It'll be good to have that on record anyway.
Okay.
And let's see what happens with that.
There was something else that I used to get very, very cold. Like and my partner would say abnormally cold, like I was always freezing.
Yeah.
And since changing my diet, I'm not freezing. I'm actually
really
a bit hotter than what I normally am. So I don't know if that's a recorded something, but that it's definitely a huge change.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's very interesting. Okay, so keep an eye on that. That'll be interesting, and take note when you do introduce the foods back in again, if there is anything that might trigger that. Yeah, that's very interesting.
And
All right.
the first couple of days, I thought, no, it's too soon to see that. But I have noted that I wasn't feeling cold anymore. Like, I always had the heater like attached to me and wearing jerseys and vests and many layers. And
yes,
like even now, it's not exactly warm and I can feel it's cold, but I'm not freezing. So
yeah,
it's a change. My fingers are not freezing.
that's interesting. Take notes.
Different, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. Okay, that sounds amazing. All right, then let me there's another one that I just want to show you guys here as well. Let me just find it. Okay. All right, let me just share my screen again. Where did it go? It's here.
Now we can see it.
Okay, cool. All right, so there were a couple of things here. Okay, so this is another patient of mine. So you can see here, it's not a midline fissure. Okay, that is what we would call a lambda fissure, and that is often an indication of low stomach acid and pancreatic enzymes. So getting maldigestion basically, because she probably doesn't have enough stomach acid, and if you don't have enough stomach acid, it doesn't stimulate the pancreatic enzymes to release, and it doesn't stimulate your gallbladder to work properly neither. So you end up with a whole lot of issues going on if you don't have enough stomach acid. So yeah, so I just thought that would be of interest there as well, and you can have a look at there and see. So it's not severe, it's definitely there. Can also be related to GERD, your gastroesophageal reflux, and so on. All right, and then I wanted to, let me just find where we are. Okay, so her nails. There, you can see there. So nails are about a six month timeline. So they'll give you an indication of what's happened in your health over the last 6 months. So you can see here, she's got a whole lot of those little white spots on her nails. So she is probably zinc deficient as well. So just looking at that, and she actually also has what we call burning mouth syndrome. So like her tongue and her mouth, since about January, it feels like it's burning. So I've been looking into that a whole lot, and that's very linked to a lot of deficiencies: B vitamins, zinc, different minerals. But yeah, that's why I asked her to send me all those photos, and she's going to do some blood tests as well. And so yeah, definitely. I mean, you can pick up the zinc there. You can pick up the stomach acid, and if that's low, she's not going to absorb what she's taking in anyway. So you can take all your multivitamins and stuff, but if your stomach acid is not optimal, you're not going to get the benefit. Then it's just wasting the money really at the end of the day. So that's the starting point, and that's where we're going now. I think so. So when you come through, are you going to come through then tomorrow, Shona, for the DNA? Perfect.
Yeah.
So Steve, are you there? Steve?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So can you see that Shona gets a bottle of that?
Yeah.
The Metagest.
Interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got at work. So you must just grab a bottle from Steve. I'm not sure what the price is. If you can just check tomorrow and let Shona know.
Yep.
But I think we must start looking at that stomach acid. And I think the instructions are in the latest video, but you slowly work it up, Shona. So you start with 2 tablets with a meal. And if you're starting to get burning in your stomach area, then you know you're okay. Okay. But if you don't feel anything, then next meal you take it up to 3 tablets, and you slowly increase it. Like don't go beyond about 7 or 8. Okay, that's quite a lot. But slowly increase it until you start to feel a bit of a burning in your stomach, and then you know, okay, so that's kind of your limit. Then you can drop it down 1 tablet from there. And yeah, so and then with every meal you need to take that amount of the spectrazyme. At this point, I'm actually having to take 5 with every meal I'm having. So my stomach acid is quite low at the moment as well. So working on that. And yeah, any other questions anyone has or stuff you want to know?
I have a question on supplements. So in doing all of and in some of the tests that we were doing, it was said not to stop taking your supplements. So I think it was the oat test, and just to note them down, what supplements you were taking. If we're going through all of this and we see that everything's good, but that where do we pick up that it's too much supplements?
We'll probably pick some of that up on the oat test as well. So have you done those already? Have you sent it off?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sure.
Yeah, so I got I got the notification from Nordic that they'd received Shona's test.
Okay, awesome. That's brilliant. Sure, you are really on the ball. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, so we should have those in, I suppose, about 4 weeks or something like that. Okay. so that's great. And then we'll do the DNA tomorrow, and that's normally about a 2 to 3 week turnaround. So that's brilliant. We'll have a whole lot of information there. But yeah, so we'll probably pick up on the O test, what's going on there as well. Okay.
I would like to stop taking my supplements.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's a lot. And now you add on the stomach acid as well. So yeah. So, I mean, a lot of it, you know what, if your stomach acid is low, then that's one of the reasons you're having to take so many supplements too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because you're not able to digest and absorb the food that you're taking in. So we need to boost that and just get that optimized. And that might take some time. But yeah, so that should. And then you've just got to track your health and that MSQ. So once you're done with the whole elimination diet, then we'll redo the MSQ again, see how you're feeling now, and take it further. Okay.
And then the question to Steve. So when I'm not feeling like I have this energy, so I do the morning set of exercises, like I need to wake up, exercise.
Yep.
And then the afternoon exercises, if I'm not feeling great, I don't do them. I just do like a stretch just to
that's fine.
Get something happening.
Absolutely.
But that's okay. It's not
100%.
I know you're going to scream at me, and I'm going to go back to having.
No, don't worry about that. So, I mean, the biggest thing right now is to give the elimination diet the very best shot you can, and that's the critical one. So, exercise for you right now is an energy issue, in the morning, and in the afternoon it's a cortisol issue. So, and that's all that you're using physical activity for right now. You know, we'll get into dose when you're doing physical activity. You know, which I think now, you know, I've moved out to week 8, I think. So, but yes, you're spot on. You use exercise at the moment simply for those 2 reasons. And if you are battling then with energy in the afternoon, just don't do it. You know, moving rhythmically or, you know, doing something stretch-wise has a cortisol effect for you in the afternoon. And I mean, that's important as well for you.
Okay.
So on Monday, we'll do the stress questionnaire. I'll send that through to you on Monday. And then we'll start to understand where your stress is going. You know, is it adrenal based? And I know Jenny has a thought there that, you know, that adrenal fatigue is something that might be an issue for you. And we'll see that on that stress questionnaire, and we can go through those.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and her response, I mean, sleeping better now, you know, with having pulled all the caffeine out as well.
Yeah.
So that's also points to adrenals. And stretching in the afternoon or evening is great, Shona. So often, even like some of the yoga stretches, the forward movements and stuff like that before bed can help you to relax and unwind, can help with sleep as well. So yeah, it just works on your autonomic nervous system. And
I've got a list of those and some pictures of the morning and afternoons. So I'll make that available. So in the morning, sun salutation, if you know that one, it's a very energy boosting sequence, and all your sort of downward movements in the evening. So so I've separated those out. So I'll pop that up in the resources.
Okay. That sun salutation, the first movement of that, my back doesn't like that.
Oh, that's absolutely. No, I can absolutely imagine. So how do you modify that is just bend knees more, you know. So try and modify the first part so that you don't have as much flexion, and then the rest should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure. Awesome. Any last questions or anything further? Anyone?
So Shona, we'll chat. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. So then you and I can just chat through some of the kind of setup stuff that we would have done coaching tomorrow anyway. So then we'll sort of do that all at the same time. And Martha, you'll tell me, you know, what time you have tomorrow afternoon for half an hour, and we can
Okay.
get all the tech set up.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
everybody.
I'm
Thank
all,
you.
Good chatting.
I'm all inspired now.
Good to meet you, Martha.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
Enjoy your
everybody.
evening.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.